All right, welcome back to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Experience. So I forgot to mention these certain things. So again, how did they use the color black? What is it that they did to cause an association to the color black? So as I was talking about, I took my son's mother to family court, right? So that because she sent my son away out of the country and forged my name on a document to send him out of the country for an entire month, right? Using him to emotionally manipulate me. And again, I didn't have no idea. And again, when I talk about black men, black boys being raised in homes with single mothers who are very religious, they don't teach their boys about how women are. Because your mother could be exactly like that, right? When they were young. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? So, but you got to understand is that you cannot totally blame them because this is how black people are for the most part. Why? Racism. They understand the when you have a people in poverty and highly religious, they're going to raise ignorant offsprings. They're going to raise very docile and passive offsprings. This is why we march for every damn thing, right? White people will take up arms. They will storm the damn U.S. Capitol. All right. That is a difference between their mindset and our mindset. They believe in God too, right? They believe in God. The white supremacists, they believe in God. The KKK is a Christian organization. A lot of these, the sirens. A lot of these racist cops, they go to church, right? But they'll shoot a black man, a black woman, or a black child down without second guessing, without even thinking about it. Okay, so let's not get that twisted. So anyhow, so while I was going to court after I got arrested in court, there was a black police officer who would always walk past, and there was a Hispanic one too with a beard. I think they said he was a pastor or something like that. And every time they walked past me, and I was sitting outside the courtroom, they would shake their keys. Right? The court officers would walk past me, constantly shaking their keys right in front of me. Okay? This is why I talk about show you guys the key thing, right? Because again, they plan these things. This is how they're conditioned. I went to court for a year for nothing, really. Right? I didn't even trust the lawyer that I had. Okay? Until I told him exactly what was happening, and he just said to me, he said, don't plea. They have no, you didn't do anything. You shouldn't even open for anything like that. But he was shocked that the amount of crimes that they listed. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So, they used to always have, like, if I had court at 10 o'clock in the morning, I would not leave there until 6 o'clock at night. They will keep me there all day. And every time I went to ask for my paperwork, right? This was in family court. They will tell me it's not ready yet. Remember, I brought the custody case against her. As soon as court was over, they would give her paperwork immediately after and have me wait in there. And I had to call my job to let them know, hey, I'm still in court, what have you, because I told them. And I would be there till 6 o'clock. So I would be there from 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock every single time I have court. And whenever I asked the court officers why my paperwork, oh, it's not ready yet. I said, well, you gave hers. Yeah, well, it's, and I'm like, wait, I brought the case against her. Where's my paperwork? So they would purposely do this. Right? They would purposely do this to me. Okay? And like I said, you have people who are in positions of power who abuse their authority, and they use their position within the court system to sleep with these women. That's what a lot of these court officers are doing. Trading sex for favors. Okay? Because it never dawned on me. And then when, she ended up taking me to court for child support, which is funny because she ended up getting less. And it was a big deal for me because, I took care of my son. The only reason why she took me to court for child support because she was having the babysitter. And I'm like, listen, you have your mother, you have my mother. If you want me to watch him, I'll watch him. Not if you got a job interview to go to, I'll watch him. No, because they want to go out there and run the streets. That's what she wanted to do. Okay? And I had the receipts. I had the checks and everything. Just like with Pam. When Ethan was born, give her checks, okay? So one thing they can never say is that I was a deadbeat dad. And again, not understanding that women can be even more narcissistic as men and more evil and vindictive as men. It's ridiculous. And the fact that they will lie, you know, because I had to go get a DNA test. And the reason why also because when we was in a relationship, she came home one night with a, you know, bruise all over her face. I asked her what happened. She got assaulted. She said, you know, give me some lame excuse about how she took a cab and the cab driver didn't go the way that she wanted the cab driver to go. So he assaulted her. So she was like, let me out of the cab. He wouldn't let her out of the cab. He assaulted her. Like I mean, you know, of course I didn't believe that shit. I'm going to tell you why I didn't believe it. Because when it was time for her to go to court and I wanted to come, she would argue with me. She literally fight me not to go to court. And so because of that, right, I end up reaching out to my ex and restarted the thing. And again, I should have known better. But again, I was young. I was ignorant. I didn't really, pay attention. Because, we had a newborn child, right? So I didn't want to leave her and walk out and stuff like that. But I didn't know that she had, when I was living by myself, when we started dating, talking together, that she literally stole my Social Security card. So right there, I knew. Because I said to myself, how did she get my Social Security card? I can understand having my name and everything like that, but she had my Social Security card number. How did she get it? How did she get it? We wasn't living together. I mean, we were living together at the time, but I never had those documents on me. All those documents were with my sister. But I remember that when I moved out of my apartment, my information, my Social Security card was missing. So it had to have been her. So on top of that now, right, there are other instances that made me realize that she was cheating, right? So she contacted my ex-girlfriend, right, telling her all kind of shit, coming at my job, you know what I'm saying? But I want you to understand how narcissistic people are, which is men and women, that they can cheat on you, but the minute the table is flipped, they act like they're the victims, right? So again, anyway, so this dude was going to court. The court officer and another white female court officer, one day I was sitting on the bench, came up to me, and he looked at me and he was like, let me talk to you. Leave her alone. I'm like, who are you talking about? He didn't say anything and he walked off, right? Very dark-skinned guy, about shorter than me. From that time afterwards, they started using people wearing all black. From the minute I left that courthouse, the next day I got up in the morning, it was a plethora of people wearing all black. No other color, but all black. And so what I'm showing you guys is how you have cult members who engage in psychological manipulation and covert warfare. They're in the police departments, they're in the U.S. government, and the U.S. government, the CIA, the FBI, what have you, they will use opportunities to experiment on us because they employ these groups, these cults, to pick people, to select people, and try to set you up and frame you so that you'll be silent. But I will never be silent. Like I said, I'm going to expose them in every single way. I had to learn what was happening to me, which they didn't want. They tried everything, right, to manipulate me, to threaten me, not to learn the information that I've learned. Right? They've attacked my computers. They've do all kind of shit. Send me subliminal messages. We're going to plant, certain types of images and videos on your computer and all this sort of threat. Right? Again, go onto the website psychologicalharassment.com and go look at the psychological manipulation that they do. It is listed on there. Everything, even color psychology. It talks about it, right? And again, what they are hiding also. Talk about this. Radio wave, microwave frequency weapons, pulse modulated to send subliminal message into your mind. When I talk about how children, I did a video of my grandnephew as I was in the kitchen. They started microwaving us. Recently I had to tell my sister, I said, you need to tell him he needs to stop doing what he's doing. There are times when he would see me and he would grab his crotch all the time, and then she would make excuses. That's what he does. I understand he's a child, but she herself was very ignorant to the fact that these weapons exist. And so when I say these things, like even today, this morning with the black cap that was on my toothbrush, which again, never done before. She's like, oh, it was on the other side of the wall and it fell. Okay, so how is it on the other side of the wall, but it fell on my toothbrush, where my toothbrush is at? How is that? And I don't want those things on my toothbrush. I brush my teeth, right? It goes in my mouth. I brush my teeth. And again, this has never happened before. But I talked about yesterday, I was showing you guys them using the color black. This is what they do. Okay? So then she says to me, again, because, last time when I was talking about being food poisoned, oh, who knows you, I have to poison your food. This is the type of mindset that I'm talking about, the very ignorant mindset. And again, it's not no fault of her own because of her religious belief. And religion makes you stupid. It literally does. And I don't say that in a demeaning way. It means that you have no critical thinking, that you think that there aren't people out there that can do this, while you yourself are being manipulated, while you yourself are being used as a tool against me and your children and other family members, because you're not teaching them anything. And when I say teach them anything, I mean you're not being honest with them about certain things. You're not talking to them about the things that they need to hear, that they should hear. But that's how they condition our women. This is why our women don't want to hear the truth. This is why they have this avoidant personality disorder, as well as their delusional disorder based on the religious belief system. And they will cause conflict. The fact that I'm not a Christian anymore, the fact that I practice my ancient Kemetic spirituality, meaning that I seek knowledge, meaning that I understand that I am one with this planet, that we are connected, we have a symbiotic relationship, right? I don't worship gods in Egypt, as they like to call it. Those are not gods. Those are personification of human principles, the laws of the universe, the cosmos, nature, Neterus. We are the children of the Neterus. And we become Neters when we have children. Right? Understand the rebirth thing. Understand this whole concept of being resurrected. It's not a Christian thing. It's not a Christian thing. Right? This whole concept of salvation, that didn't start with Christianity. That started with us, African people, black people. But because we have been so indoctrinated, and this is what they don't want. They don't want those of us to know what's going on. When you are young as a black person, you start to see the racism and it starts to affect you and you want to do something, and particularly if you're working in certain industries which is very racist, right, where they're listening to your conversation, again, you don't know. Because again, you're race ignorant, that you don't know these things are happening. Right? So again, this is what I'm talking about. So there are people out there who will use these opportunities, even the Sambos and Sambinas on the police department. Right? Go and watch the video The Family on Netflix about these group of religious people who have wealth and influence and understand what they do behind the scenes to help other people. For example, there's a senator who impregnated his mistress, and they literally paid her off, and they threatened her. These are the things that I'm talking about. But they are, like I said, women in my family, very ignorant to the reality of what really goes on in this country. Just as much most black women in this country. They have been conditioned with religion that blinds them. They raise their children telling their children to love everybody, right? To get on their knees and pray to God and ask God for what it is that you want, right? So they raise very ignorant young men and young women. This is why black people in America and the West, particularly those who are highly religious, we have the worst outcomes. Our mindset is so fucked up. There's so much dysfunctional within each other and within ourselves and within the family structure. This is why black families has been decimated. I've been posting videos online because I had a conversation with a woman, one of my Facebook friends. I don't know if, I was talking about, anyhow. But I posted a video of a young woman who went on vacation, got pregnant, right? And she put the video on TikTok saying, went on vacation and got pregnant, right? My summer fling, if you see this, you have a child. They don't see anything wrong with that. There's no shame in that. So this person says, well, women can do the same thing as men. Men go on vacation and do all that. And I keep saying, how liberals have conditioned women, particularly black women, and you look at their behavior sexually, you look at the carelessness, you look at how they just having children without thinking about it, and then don't want to raise those children past a certain age, that they just put the children on their mothers, their grandmothers, right, other family members, while they can go do their thing. This is what I'm talking about: creating broken homes, creating children who are going to have negative outcome and who will remain stuck in a cycle of poverty. But it starts with the women, right? The woman is the one who birthed the nation. The women are the ones who teaches the nation. The women are the ones who nurtures the nation, right? And they know this. So what do you do to black women? You basically need to edit out those qualities, right, to keep them highly ignorant. So they will keep producing the products that you can, the white supremacists, can feed off of, whether it be in the prison industry, whether it be in low wage job, which they're getting rid of because they're now using robots. So what do you think is going to be? You're going to see more and more increase of young black men and women in prison. I said, go look at the statistics. Over the past decade, black women have been the #1 group of people in America that are incarcerated. I keep saying they're setting our women up for failure, right? Not holding them accountable. But there's going to be a time comes when will start to hold you accountable. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We have to be smart. And like I said, they'll try to shut me up. That's fine. They can try. But it is my purpose to expose what's being done. And I'm going to do it to my fullest until the day I die or until whatever the hell they want to do. Okay? So just do it. Because I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. All right? Talk to you guys in the next video.